Hello, everybody. This is Ryan over at Bearded Tree Hugger. I wasn't going to talk about this again. And then I went on my eBay. Not all, a lot of my categories, what is it called? Let's go on here and try to see what this is called. Sorry for the delay here. I'm very, very, very irritated. What is it called? Required soon. I don't know, type, brand, material, color, handmade, all that kind of stuff. Everything is gone. Everything is gone. We went through this in 2019. Now in 2021, I get to do it again. And I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know if I should just move everything over to Mercari, Poshmark, whatever. I don't have a Shopify because I don't have a big enough social media presence to actually make it worth it yet. Maybe my channel will blow up. I hope it will. And I can just have a Shopify, and then I can have my website for my art, and we can just go from there, because this eBay thing, I think, I don't even know how much they ended up paying me in 2019, 12, 13, 14, $1,500, because I just kept on going after them. I mean, how much work do we have to do? We make the listings, we add all this stuff. They do an update because they have no idea what they're doing. Who puts out a massive update that they don't even test in quarter 4? Who does this? So they put up the fall update. I wasn't going to make a video about this until it struck home again. All of my listings are missing stuff again, and then they're put in different categories. They weren't even put in these categories. They're put in categories that doesn't even make any sense. These listings got put in a different category. Like, back in 2019, 2018, I was given a massive amount of stuff from an estate that was a friend of my dad's. They didn't feel like dealing with it. I said, yeah, I'll take it. Most of the stuff came to me. I have a garage. I put the stuff in the garage. It's taken me to this time to actually get to the last of it. And it was a lot toward the end of it is a lot of stuff that I don't sell. There's a lot of glass stuff. I don't really deal with glass stuff. But I said, this looks kind of cool. Some of the stuff I gave away. Last year, I think I gave like 1,600 items away to homeless shelters, because there was a lot of blankets, clothes, and all that kind of stuff. And I just don't have the energy to deal with clothing anymore. I mean, I don't care how many specifications, measurements, blah, blah, blah that you put on there. Somebody will come up with some measurement that you've never even heard of. And then you got to, because I would put everything in bags, and then I would number it and label it and all that kind of stuff, so I knew where everything was. So then you have to go find the item, remeasure it, send it over. It's just, for the amount of time and energy you put into clothing, and for the amount of profit that you make, and with the terrible foot that I have and my back and all that kind of, it just isn't worth it for me. I know a lot of these 20-year-olds who haven't experienced what life is like at 40 can do it. I know there's probably even some 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds that can do this, that probably didn't play football, probably didn't do weightlifting, and have a functioning body. I cannot do it. I've thought about it. The only clothing stuff, it's not even really clothing, that I would do is footwear again. I still even have some footwear. I know some people hate it. I love it. It fits in the photo box. I can just take pictures of it, clean it up, list it. It fits in a box. I send it out. Don't have to deal with it. It might not fit, so it comes back. But it's easy to deal with. Whereas clothes, shirts, jeans, shorts, all that kind of stuff, you got 30, 35 measurements that you got to do. And then you got things with this eBay where they just lose everything that you put in there. Everything. I mean, everything is gone on these listings. I know I mentioned in the last video that I do a lot of auctions. And when they end, if that goes to auction for like 2 or 3 times, I'm like, all right, I'm not going to keep paying for this thing to go into auction. So I'll just put some, because a lot of this stuff is unbranded. A lot of this stuff is somewhat desirable, but not terribly. I'm not going to keep losing auction money for this stuff. So I'll just put whatever I think it's going to sell at. And then I list it as sell similar. So when I go in there today to look at what was in there from the ended listings or the ended auctions from yesterday and from Monday, because I had a really busy week and I just am now getting to it. Everything is gone. The only thing that's there is the title and what I put in the description box. And everything else is gone, and it's not even in the right categories. Everything got put into, let's read it here. Pottery and glass, dishware. None of it was, or not dishware, glassware. None of it was glasses. Some of it was jeans. Some of it was, there was some Nintendo stuff in there. There was some paper, like books and stuff like that, and somehow books are now glasses. I mean, how much of our money do they waste? These CEOs and management and all that kind of stuff, they don't care at all. Go do something else if you do not care about the people that are selling on eBay. And now the buyers can't even find the stuff that I'm selling, and so the buyers are at a handicap as well. You know, I asked the eBay person, the last person that I talked to about this, if you don't have sellers, do you have buyers? And they're like, what? If you do not have people selling on a platform, you're not going to have people buying on that platform either. And if they keep doing this stuff, they still haven't even fixed the stuff from 2019. So we had to go in and re-add all this kind of stuff from the last time, and now it's gone again. I did have an Amazon seller account. Technically I still do, but nothing's on there and I'm not paying for it. Amazon was going decent until last year when they really got hungry for an item that's replenishable. I sell one-off items. 90% of the time I sell one-off items. I don't really have, I rarely find the deal where you find 20, 30, 40, 50 of an item. I don't come across that often, and I don't really look for it, and I really don't feel like looking for it either. So Amazon started becoming very pestering. They kept wanting me to, restock items that had sold, even though that's never really been. I did run into a few times, and it wasn't even in the last 2 years, but back in 2019, 2018, 2017, I did run into situations where I could find cases of books, the same book. And it was books that was selling real quick. I was making not that much money, maybe $5 or $6 on each one, but I would find a case. I don't know how many come in a case. It was like 50. So it was, and I found the cases were like $5. And it was books that was selling. It was like high, fast selling books. So I would just put my little labels on it, send it down to FBA, and they would sell really quick. I would make my like $5 and on each one. But when you got like 50 or 60 of an item, it's not bad, especially when you got the items for $5 for all of them. I haven't found that. Now, I admit I'm not the best reseller because my foot surgery took me out for 6 months, and then I was walking as part of my rehab, and then a bone broke in that same foot, and I really can't get out there anymore. So I've got a ton of stuff, and people give me stuff and all that, I've got hundreds and hundreds of items for sale. But I'm wondering if it's even worth doing anymore. I really don't know if it's worth doing anymore. I mean, they just keep on doing this. Mercari, Poshmark, they don't sell as fast. But at least once they've sold, they delivered, and the person that rates it in any way is theirs. There's no 30 days later somebody trying to return speakers to me that they didn't buy. There's no, oops, can't pay rent, I'm going to return this. Actually, for a while, I was selling video games on eBay, and I don't really do it as much anymore because what they were doing with me, it was using me as a rental. So they would find a rare game that, and a lot of this was Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, cartridge type games, DS games. And we have a lot of chains in this area that deal with used, old, hard to find stuff. And a lot of the time I can go in there, and this stuff is cleaned out now because of 2020 and 21. But prior to that, you could go in there and they've got thousands and thousands and thousands of items. And you can go in there, and if you know pricing, you can go in there. They don't reprice the stuff. So you could go in there, and they had bought the stuff like 3 years ago, and it's 3 years ago price. So you can buy it and make $40, $50, $100 on this stuff pretty quick. So what people were doing was they were buying it, playing the game, beating it, and returning it within 30 days. And I was like, this just, I mean, I was making absolutely no money on this. So I stopped selling this stuff, but I would put it on Mercari, and somehow you can even put the stuff on Poshmark now. And once they rate it within that 3 days, it's theirs. So they can play it, beat it, and then they can go sell it for themselves and not include me. So I really don't sell a lot of video games. Now, you don't make as much on video games on Mercari as you do on eBay, but at least you make the money. Once they rate it, it's theirs. See you later. I know these things work. I own all the video game. I mean, like, I've got almost every video game system that has ever been made in this house somewhere. And I can test all of them. I know they work. I make sure that they work. I test them. I sell them. And then they come back. And a lot of the time I would see that these people, I mean, who beats a game on their own save file and doesn't erase the save file, and then they send it to you? Like, you're not going to look and make sure that the game still works. So what people were doing, they would beat the game. They would send it back to me. I can see on their save file that they beat it. And then they mail it back to me claiming that it doesn't work. But somehow they beat the entire game, but the game doesn't work. And I would tell eBay about this. And of course, eBay, no matter what the seller does, eBay's always going to take the buyer's side. So then I would sell it again. And not every time. You're not going to have this every time. But it was a lot with the really expensive, rare games. This would happen. So I just started selling the stuff on other platforms because eBay just would take their side every time. And you know what? Obviously it didn't happen every time. Maybe it was like 40% of the time, but it just started costing so much money that I was like, forget this. And I've talked to other people who haven't had this happen. I think it was because I only dealt in games. And so the algorithm really pushed people my way. Anyway, this fall update is pathetic. This fall update, they said it wasn't going to come out till February from what I read, and now it came out. People are being charged for things that they are supposed to be free. When you call the 800 number, they don't know what's going on. Management doesn't tell anything to anybody below them, and then people below them get mad at you because it's a hot mess. I don't know what else to say about it. I got to eat. I just wanted to make this quick video, which of course isn't even that quick. Comment below if you're having the same exact issue. If you have fixes to this, let me know. Thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. Subscribe. Talk to you next time. Have a good day.